Rocky, and today I'm going to make a practice dart for my brother Mark, and so I thought I'd do a video to let everybody see how I make them. They're very cheap to make, they last a very long time, and they're great for practice, learning new techniques and moves, or if you're just starting out. And if you really can't afford to go get the real thing, this is a good way to go. Heard a lot of people in our group and on the internet asking what's the best to use if you can't really afford to buy a good one. And so this is my answer to that. So let's get started. Things you will need: tennis balls, hard court, championship, Dunlops. I've never used these before, so I figured I'd give them a try. Pretty much used all the other ones. And you will need eye bolts. Quantity of these is 2. It's 5/16 an inch, 4 inches in diameter, which is perfect for the tennis ball. You'll need those. You will need a pack of washers, 2 for each one. So there's enough here to make 2. The rope was $4 and something at Lowe's, and there's enough rope here to make 4 rope darts and have at least 2 foot in rope left over easily. You will need a pair of scissors. I'm using tape to attach my flag with. You will need a knife. For the sash, for the flag, I'm using silk. I got it at Walmart. Here's a whole yard, and it was $2.97 for enough to make a very lot of darts with. You could probably put a flag. I could reflag everything I have with what I'm gonna have left over, which I probably will because they're getting old and worn. And same amount for this one, $3 for a whole yard. I already took 1 square out of both of these to put on my chain whip later. On my handle, I had red and black on one end, nothing on this end, but I decided to put one on both ends. That way, when I'm doing this little deal here, of course, it'll look more aesthetically pleasing. And okay, first things first is we're going to prepare the end, the dart end, which is the ball. Then we'll be attaching the rope. First thing I do is, ooh, you love the sound of that. New ball. Oh yeah. My dog and Nick will love that. Yes, that will work. Anyway, so what we want to do is make this go pretty much evenly through as we can. So you notice the tennis ball has this little thing like a yin-yang. So a yin and yang. So then I usually put one hole through here, and then I go ahead and put a hole through this side, basically the same spot. And that's what we will be pushing our eye bolt through. So this part, of course, you're going to want to be careful. And we're going to start off by putting a little hole in the ball. Then we're going to put one on the opposite side, same spot. Okay, that should work. It's pretty even. Now, take an eye bolt. This one for legal wash. And you're going to take 2 washers. Start off with 1 washer, which is going to go on first. Like so. Then you're going to shove this motherfucker in here. You're going to want it to come out the other side where you made the other hole. Like that. Then place the other washer on this side. What I normally do, I don't have any with me today, it's the one thing I forgot, is usually I put super glue on this, and that's to keep this from backing out, because it will. If you don't do that first and you don't actually hit this on anything, yeah, this will back out and it can fly, you know. Actually, this flying off is really probably not going to happen if you don't make too big of a hole, which I didn't. But that'll keep it like that. But as soon as you hit this threads a few times, it's going to flatten out the end, and then this wouldn't back off if your life depended on it. And, as long as you tie it secure, there you go. So look, that's how you make a bouncy dart head. The rope dart. Perfect, because most of the time if you do hit yourself with this, it's going to be like this from a swing, you know, so it's not really going to hurt. I mean, it will hurt if you hit yourself with this, like on a retrieval. If you snatch it back, it's going to come back. So you got to be careful, because, I mean, I've hit myself in my shin with this, and it will hurt. I've shot it into a column like this, an old one that we were going to tear down at work one day at lunchtime. I went out there and showed the guys what this would actually do, even this, by hitting a concrete cinder block. So we were about to tear out some demolition on the column, so I hit it, and you could see it was putting solid dents into the concrete. And so just think, I mean, if you hit yourself in the shin or potentially someone else, it's really going to hurt. So just because it's a practice dart, don't mean you still don't need to be safe. But, I mean, you could also do this a different way. This is just the way I like to do it, but you can also, if you really want to be a little bit safer, is to not even use the eye hook. You can just feed the rope straight through the holes, which to do that I would stick this through here, and then put my rope on the end and tie the rope, or tape the rope to the end of this, and then pull this back through. Or a wire of some sort, same thing. Pull your rope through, tie a knot, a fat knot on the end of it, a couple of fat knots on the end of the ball, and then it won't come back through, and then that'll be even, but it won't be as heavy. This, with the eye bolt, it makes the perfect weight. The perfect weight. Just try it. Wait till you try it. You'll see. Works great. So anyway, now that part is done. Now for the rope. Okay. I myself, I'm not sure exactly what length everybody else uses. I mean, from what I gather, it's supposed to be 2 of your arm spans. For me, I like to go my arm span all the way out, with the dart just almost touching the floor on the other side. So when I first make it, the first thing I do is I always make my end that goes around my wrist first, so I don't account for that, the rope that it takes to make that. This is what I do. Is you make a slip knot. To do that, go like this, and pinch it like that. That's all you're going to do, is just do it like that. Then you're going to take this one and run it through the hole. Pinch that, pull that tight, like this. And then you want to get that spot out, pull that back until that's tight. And you cinch that down until it's just above that little knot. See? Now you have a slip knot to go around your wrist. So stay tight, and you won't let it come off. Once I've done that, this is the length I go by. Then, I drop the rope to the ground, and I hold my arms out like this, and I step on the rope. I got 2 cameras, so if I go over and make sure I don't know if this angle's going to look more down on the tail. So then I hold my foot on the rope to keep it tight, so I know exactly where I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to pick up my rope right in front of where I stepped on it. From that, I'm going to add 2 or 3 inches for tying. So where I pinched it, I'm going to step ahead in front of that and grab it like 3 more inches. Oh, if I can only make 6 inches. 6 inches more. Cut it. Tie it. This is cotton, so burning's not going to help. Any other rope you burn as soon as you cut. Stops it from fraying. But it's pure cotton, which is the best. It's perfect rope. It's called sash cord. Sash cord. 50 feet, 24 pound. I don't know, it works great. And I'm used to the feeling, but I'm also a carpenter and I got calluses all over my hands, so I got rough hands. But even so, a lot of people are like, what do you do when your hands get rough? Well, you put baby powder on your rope. That's one thing we're doing. So I do that. Okay. Now we have our rope ready. Rope. Set that aside. Now, to tie this to our rope. So now I'm going to secure this to the wall. These are not, so I know it won't come back out. Cinch that down tight. Mark, you're gonna love this, buddy. My brother Mark. I'm the youngest out of 8, and my brother Mark's one of my favorite brothers. Is it wrong to have a favorite? I don't know, but he is. Anyway, it's okay. Now I'm going to add the flag. Okay, rope part's done. Let's get this. I chose white and black because I've used red and black for a long time, and red and black's my favorite, but decided to get a different color for my chain whip, so now this is what I'm going to use today. So, first thing I'm going to do is start off with a square of black. The chain whip I made smaller, the rope dart I'll probably make a little bigger. I like using this because it's very thin, so I can still see through this. And it's very thin and it's lightweight. It still serves its purpose, so it doesn't add too much weight. And it makes the dart fly very easily and very well. I like it. So, I'm going to cut out a little square like this. That side's a little. There's no anything. But anyway. Okay, spread out my white. And the black on the top. Okay, just end over here. It's squared again. And then I'm going to cut this one off. I'm going to back up a step and take the rope off. I'll end up cutting all that up. Okay, so after you get your rope all ready, and you get your flag cut and folded. Now, the way I do this is I fold my flag doubled in half, crease it, and fold that back in half again. And now you want to grab this corner. And at this corner, you're going to want to pinch it, and you want to cut about that much off. Just a quarter. Like a little half-inch, quarter-inch. Well, that's a quarter-inch. Here's a half. How many of these brigades? Just half. And then cut that. I'm going to cut out that edge there. Now, you're going to want to take the rope and you want to open this up. Now it has a hole directly centered of the flag. I want the white underneath and the black on top, so I will be feeding the rope in through the black first to this side. Now, I'm going to just let that sit. And now I'm going to tie the rope back to the dart head that I made. And cinch it down tight so it locks that knot in. Okay, now I'm going to take the flag and you want to pinch it up kind of equally so it's back into that little cone looking shape that we had before. And we're going to put that right above the ball. So you can still see the ball, but the flag's just above it. Okay. From where you pinch that at, pinch them around tight. And then that's where we're going to take the flag. You want to go around the flag a couple of times and then the rope a couple of times up the rope so it gets a good bond to the rope and then back down onto the silk of the dart. Once you get that good, you want to pull a little pressure and get the tape tight. And then tape it down. You want to tape down about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter onto the flag so we know that we secure it and you don't lose your flag. And pull it off. And there you go. Got yourself a practice rope. Now my brother has a practice one. So I'm going to spin these cameras around and give it a test. Which I know it'll work, but you know, why not? Alright, so for me, it needs more weight. For my brother, for him starting out, I'd like to see him just use this one the way it is, but I'm going to send him the high volt ring to go with it. So once he gets the hang of things and he wants to make it a little more heavier, he can put the carbide ring on it. That'll give it just the amount of weight that it needs, because that's what I have on most of my other ones. For instance, this is what I mean. for my knife blade one. This was a throwing knife that had a handle on it. I made another blade out of the handle part where I cut the knife in half. But see, I used a carbide ring, or whatever you call this, in between it, and that gave it a little bit more weight. Plus, then I also put my flag on a separate piece of chain higher than that. And this one works. Ooh, I love this one. It's my favorite one. This one is the one I carry everywhere I go. And one of these. And the other ones I carry sometimes. But this one, no matter where I go, you will find me with this one. That and this. Never go nowhere without that. Unless I'm in the shower, I'm more likely to be sitting on the counter right outside the door. And the chain whip. I always take these with me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video on this practice rope dart and dart knife.